what an insane couple of days. We've just got back from our London client event.
London?
100 incredible people in the room, all there to grow together as coaches and to bring the most value to their clients. It was a full day of workshops with myself, Johnny, and the team. Good food, good vibes. Like, the whole thing was quite surreal because
London?
normally I'm a bit of an autistic terminator and I'm just, sat behind my laptop doing my thing. And being in the room with that many people and that level of energy, I found myself getting quite emotional throughout the day. Karzan, one of our inner circle clients, said that community is a place that you don't have to explain yourself. And I thought that is absolutely brilliant because everyone there was able to just crack on and just pick up where they left off like old friends. There was no need to build context or try and explain yourself because you're just there on a shared mission with everyone else in that room and sharing ideas. Community is a funny thing, isn't it? Because you reach these levels of depth that you as a one-to-one coach would never be able to achieve on your own. Because suddenly you've got these shared experiences and connections and group accountability. And it opens up this level of vulnerability that is only possible when you know that you're with your people. Sometimes it feels like you have to be the superhero of your business and carry everything yourself, but coaching particularly is about getting your ego out of the way and just being the platform for people to achieve their goals. And even with one-to-one coaching, like, you are at best the sat nav. It's a very boomer term of me to use, but like, it's another reason that I take umbrage, a word I had to fit into this video, with coaches who try and like lay claim to their clients' success. Like, you didn't do anything. You laid out the path and they're the ones who showed up and did the work. Like, your clients are always the star of the show. But yeah, more of a rambly video today. Like, I know I normally try and keep these like super tight and actionable and lots of lessons, but it's kind of nice just to smell the roses. It feels weird to even be making this video. Like, the fact that never in history would you be able to put your thoughts out there from sitting in your home and bring together people who align with that. And also how rare it is to be able to bring such wonderful people together. They all are there because they care about their clients and they want to do the best by them. So really, it's an honor to serve you, and we're blessed with an incredible team to be able to make that happen. Our best friend Chris Williamson runs a pretty big podcast, maybe you've heard of it, has been this great lesson for us that he just absolutely hammered the volume. He's done 1,000 episodes. The first 5 years was like 3 episodes a week with basically no monetization model, and we took the piss out of him for that. Just turning up and hammering the volume with no sense of immediate reward. He was just fully mission driven. And it's just testament to like picking one thing and taking it seriously. And it took us a bit too long to learn that lesson. Certainly I suffered from like the entrepreneurial ADHD, and Johnny's been great at kind of keeping me on the straight and narrow. Obviously we've played a slightly different game to Chris, like we could never do what he does. And so we've leaned into our strengths as system perverts. And over the last 8 years, that's when we've been able to really settle into our expertise. So I guess the takeaway, if you're a coach, is that the daily reps are serving your clients. And if you can do that on repeat, get them great results, and then turn that into a system that allows you to operate at scale, then that's the way that you create big ripples in the world. Anyway, soppy moment over. A couple more lessons from the day. Online coaching, for all of its benefits and profitability, can be quite a lonely game. And the solution is being able to go through that with other people on the same journey, sharing the same struggles. A lot of people approached me on the day and mentioned that they'd been on multiple other events from other mentors in flashy locations and things. And they all said that there was a stark difference in the level of authenticity between this and other events. A lot of them had said that the other events felt very clinical or more like a catwalk, or kind of everyone's got the Louis Vuitton out and it's all for the beach Instagram shots and all that kind of thing. Ours was definitely much more rough around the edges. Like I did a lot of the organizing myself, which was a big mistake, and I'll get to in a second. But luckily, people didn't care, because the core vibe was that people could be themselves. So that's one lesson I really want you to take away from this. Like, it's the thing which will make you AI-proof, future-proof over the next few years, is that as a coach, yes, you can cultivate your skill set and help people get better results and improve your communication skills and all that stuff. And there's accountability and objectivity, and all of that carries a lot of value as a coach. But community is the golden egg, because no matter what happens in terms of threats to your job as an online coach, community is the one thing that can just never be replaced and has the biggest power of retention. So it means that you don't need to charge super high ticket, because people are in it because they love it and they stay for the community, and that improves your MRR, your profitability. It gives you a more stable business, happier clients, and when people work with you for longer, they can get better results. And it's one of the problems we see when coaches try and offer like flash in the pan, super high ticket programs, because ultimately, if someone's working with you for a short time, even if you throw the kitchen sink at them in that short time, results take time. And so if someone can join you on a mid-ticket program and stay for a long period, then that's the thing that drives the results. Some other lessons from the day. Stupidly, I tried to organize a lot of the details myself. Honestly, like, partly it's the classic control freak, megalomaniac entrepreneur syndrome of trying to control everything, but also I just underestimated how many little details are involved in organizing an event. Things like spending some of the day worrying, are there enough coat hangers, and we're running out of wooden spoons, and really, because I was presenting all the day, ideally I just want to be in the room, fully present. But, lesson learned for next time. And the Mark Twain quote comes to mind: I've lived through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. Meaning, we often worry about loads of things, but very few of them become actual problems. So the coat hangers, the cardboard boxes, the wooden spoons, whatever, like, people weren't concerned because they were having such a good time. Doing this event very much came from myself and from Alec, head of coaching. Johnny was not keen on the idea because it would mean taking the team off the daily rhythm. It would mean the cost of hiring a venue and sorting out catering and all that kind of stuff, which is not only disruption when you've got a 1-year-old, but also the cost and the potential, headache with all of that too. They are definitely not a profit center. Like, we charged £120 for the ticket. That barely covered some of the costs of the room and food and things. But ultimately, like, you're in this decision where you have to charge enough that someone who books a ticket will actually show up, so you can get the numbers right, but not so much that it affects the number of people that actually want to show up. So anyway, that's more of like a event logistics thing. But the reason I'm saying this is Johnny was not keen on the idea of doing an event, but obviously once we went ahead with it, he was like, yeah, okay, let's go in. And the thing that I admire about Johnny is that he does this thing that Maxwell Maltz describes. Do all of your worrying before the betting wheel is placed. But then once you place the wheel, you let things run. And I think he must have got that from spending over 4 million on ads over the last few years, that you have to just set the parameters. There's a certain level of risk that you've just got to swallow, and then you go, right, press the button, let's go, now let's throw ourselves full beans into it. Anyway, Johnny mentioned this to me on the way back on the train, which blew my mind. He said that before there was even whispers of an event, and bearing in mind that he wasn't keen on doing it initially, he had part of his morning goal setting visualization practice, this image that was coming up in his mind of standing in front of a room of people, applauding, and Jim on the team looking over from the back and going, smiling. And he was like, don't really know where that's come from, but whatever. And it was kind of part of this image for his daily practice. Then he said 10 minutes into the morning presentation, that moment happened, and suddenly he was like, oh my God, this is that moment. Spooky stuff. I am becoming much more of a quack over the last few years, seeing that the whole world of visualization and manifestation and things is more true than I would have liked to admit. I think I used to be very left brain, thinking that everything in life should be fully empirical and controllable, and that all of these things are just like fluff and hot air. But the more of those experiences you have, the more you start to be like, this is too improbable to just be a coincidence. Another lesson was that when you are working with your clients, when you're delivering maybe a module or a video or talking about your processes, sometimes you might feel like you're repeating yourself, or you feel like everything that you say will land 100% full comprehension with everybody that you speak to. So, for example, in that case, my assumption is that 100% of the people in the room understood 100% of everything that we said throughout the day, which, like, obviously isn't true because attention spans go up and down, people's experience levels are different, all of that, and people kind of resonate with different things. The reason I'm saying this is that a few people said that they loved a certain bit of a talk, but then the next person you speak to might ask a question that was directly answered in that bit that the other person said that they liked. We also had a few people ask multiple team members the same question. So that's maybe they're looking to get different perspectives, or maybe it didn't quite land the certain way that it was phrased or whatever, but that just shows that in your content, in your ads, don't assume that just because you deliver something once that just lands with your entire audience and that you're boring them if you mention it again. Not the case at all. Even like, let's say with a YouTube channel, I've suffered from this. I sometimes think, oh, well, I made a video about that topic 6 months ago, so I couldn't possibly talk about it again. Like, very few people watch every one of your videos. In fact, the average subscriber watches 1.8 videos per channel, something like that. So there is not a risk of that. And if there is, they'll just skip forward or double speed it or whatever. So you will get bored of your content, your ads, your angle, your offer much sooner than your clients will. So don't worry about repeating yourself. In hospital medicine, there's this adage of see one, do one, teach one. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this. You're probably going to hate this hearing it as a patient. But if there's a new procedure, like a lumbar puncture, that a junior doctor hasn't done yet, you literally watch someone do one, you then try it yourself under supervision, and then you teach it. Because you have to go through those 3 levels to be able to ingrain it in yourself. But it also points to the fact that you can't just receive information and expect it to stick. Like, you have to start acting on it straight away. Anyway, incredible day. My head's still spinning from this, so I'm sure I'll have a bit more of a structured debrief over the next couple of weeks. But if you're watching and you were there at the event, I absolutely loved seeing you. The whole team had such a great time, and thank you for being part of it. There's a lot of bonuses and resources and materials and things from the event, which will be in your email inbox by now. But in the meantime, the best way to maintain that continuity, that group accountability, and that rhythm in your business so that you can keep things moving, stay motivated, and maintain the vision is to jump on the multiple hot seat calls that we run throughout the week, and to create that same level of community and connection for your clients as well. So if you want to see the full process on how we do that, including all the software and steps and weekly process, then have a look at this video.
She's on her way to London. London?